story covers all of Z, from Raditz to Boo. It covers almost every important fight as well as some you wouldn't expect. Apart from the main story, it also has some decent what-if levels. In terms of telling the story, it does a good job with a combination of in-game scenes and story recaps you can select. While the game lacks any true cutscenes, most of the scenes will be done in the game itself, such as Goku and Vegeta's struggle. While some of these happen automatic events that play in the story, most appear on screens as conditions for the player to do manually, though these conditions appear when the event should happen in the story. While the story is long, you don't have to do it in order. Not only can you skip sagas, but you're able to skip ahead in the saga. This helps break up the normal tedium of having to do everything in order. While you're able to do this, most stages are locked. Not every stage is unlocked by beating a previous stage though. Some you have to unlock by collecting stars. You collect these stars by completing missions for each level. These missions are simply doing certain things in the battle. This is the only real bad part of the story mode. Collecting them becomes very tedious. The biggest reason why is you can't collect them until after you have beaten a level. This means you have to do every level at least twice in order to get every star. This system would have been much better if the missions were always there. The final part of story mode is the what if section. All of these, except one, are only one stage long, making them all basically really short. That aside, they are fun little stories to do. All in all, this is a solid story mode. The graphics are what you would expect. Great. The characters and attacks both look really nice, but the best thing for me is to just look off into the background on the levels. With how far you can view back, it helps to make the stage feel larger and the battle grander. Basically, the game is pleasant to look at. In terms of having sound effects from the show, Raging Blast is great. For example, the sound effect when you power up. Then there are the Boo sound effects and the list goes on. As for the music, it's great too. Each song fits the fighting and works well in the story mode. But if you don't like it, feel free to listen to your own. Overall, one of the better soundtracks in a DBZ game. Starting with the game modes, there's Story, Tournament, Arcade, Survival, Score Attack, Time Attack, KO Attack, Destruction, Team Battle, Extreme Battle, Punching Machine, Dragon Ball Battle, and Online. As I have already covered Story, I will start with Tournament. Standard as far as tournament modes go. You pick a size and difficulty, and then you go fight. Depending on what you pick, your rewards will be different. Each size and difficulty have their own set, so it will take a while to get everything. The real fun of this mode, though, is the announcing. This is what makes this mode different from just doing a fight on the tournament level. Though, if you don't like it, there is an option to turn it off. One last note on tournaments. There are no more ring outs on this level. The rest of the offline modes are all in the Super Battle section, starting off with Arcade. This is just a standard arcade mode. You fight through 10 rounds getting money after each one. Nothing real special here, just what you would expect. Survival is a 50-man fight on the same map. When you beat someone, a random character tags in and the fighting continues until either you die or you kill 50 people. Pretty fun stuff. Score Attack is a battle against an immortal enemy. The goal here is to get as many points as possible for doing certain actions, such as landing super attacks, using each smash attack, winning a struggle, etc. To get the highest score, you will need some strategy apart from simply winning a fight, making this mode a good addition. Time Attack is a fun mode. Here you fight 5 really weak opponents in a tag-style match to see how quickly you can kill them. KO Attack is a mode you play when you just want to kill people mindlessly. Here you are immortal with infinite ki. Your goal here is to kill as many people as possible in 300 seconds. Nice, simple fun. Destruction is similar to Score, but you get points for destroying the stage rather than your opponent. Not much else to say about this mode. Team Battle gives you a list of teams to, well, do battle with. Each battle has different opponents and conditions on what your team can be. As you beat stages, you will unlock more fights. All in all, a fun mode, but can get a bit tedious with how many teams there are to fight. Extreme Battle puts you in fights against strong opponents. Each time you beat one, your rank goes up and the strength of the opponent does as well. Simple concept and fun as the fights get more and more epic as you go through. Also, each character has their own ranking, meaning you can go through this more than once with other characters. The punching machine isn't anything like the other modes. This is a full-blown minigame. Here you take control of Videl at the tournament stage to see how many points you can get off the punching machine. Fun little addition, and always nice to see a real minigame. Finally, there is the Dragon Ball Battle. This mode isn't open all the time. From playing the other modes, you will unlock this one if you score high enough. Once unlocked, you will fight a random opponent, and if you win, you get a Dragon Ball. Get all 7 and the expected happens. Nice to finally have earning these things not be random. For the online, you have the 2 standard ranked and player matches, but in addition, you have the online tournaments. For these, they can be 4 or 8 person tournaments, and other than that, it's just the world tournament, but with real people. As for how it runs, if both parties have a good connection, it will run perfectly smooth. If not, you can have some slowdown that can range from minor annoyance to making it unplayable. So, pretty much like most games. There is a problem with people being wimps and disconnecting when they lose. There is nothing to discourage people from doing this. Hopefully in future games these poor sports will be punished in some way. As for spamming online, of course people do it. I don't think it's actually possible to have no spamming in a game. The last part of online are the titles. These are earned from doing various things, such as using a certain character enough times in a row, losing against certain characters while using another one, winning enough times on a stage, getting into struggles, and the list goes on. So with the tournament and the titles, it puts a nice twist on the online to prevent it from just being versus. All in all, a good online mode. Once again, be better with some sort of either penalty or compensation for a disconnection. Now for the fighting itself. You have a good, solid system. Each character has a different way of fighting based on what moves they can chain into what attack. This not only works for the basic melee, but also for the signature attacks and supers. With being able to change the supers you have equipped, this makes the system where not only does each character fight differently, but the same character can as well. There is a slight problem with the camera though. When against a wall, you can lose sight of what is going on, but you're able to shift it, which 90% of the time solves the problem. A slightly annoying problem, but nothing that makes the game unplayable. The customization on this game reminds me of Tetris. You have a box to put in items of various sizes and shapes. The box starts off small, but can be upgraded to open up the whole thing. What is nice here is every box upgrade increases how many squares each character can use. The items themselves don't increase the stat exactly. Instead, each item has a sort of special effect, though there are ones that simply increase your damage and such. There are a lot of combos you can do. It really makes this a solid customization system. The other part of customization is being able to equip which super moves a character has. This lets characters have a great number of moves as well as allowing the player to pick where he wants each move to be. Easily a great customization system in both stats and moves. First, the attacks. The size has been toned down a bit, but at the same time, they've been given more detail. For example, the Final Flash from Super Vegeta is different than the Final Flash from Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. My personal favorite effect is how the beam slowly dissipates if it misses. With that out of the way, let's look at some more stuff. First, you can deflect some super attacks. Next, the sky gets clouded over and becomes night when you power up. On some stages, you can break the ground. Also, when someone goes to tag out, you can interrupt it and engage in a sky battle. Character movesets are now much closer to the anime, with some characters getting ultimates that really were their ultimate attacks, as well as including some moves for the first time. The character roster is pretty good, but 2 noticeable characters were left out, Ultimate Gohan and Deborah. Other than that, you have all the important characters from Z. Also, they threw in Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and Broly. One final thing. Frieza's transformations are done correctly for the first time, well, ever. All in all, a very good DBZ game that has something for everyone. With all the game modes and a very good customization, there is plenty to do and lots of ways to screw around. As a general score, 6 out of 10, since if you aren't into DBZ, you won't care. But as a DBZ game, an 8.5 out of 10.